Ever wondered what America looked like over a century ago? Prepare to be transported back in time with images that will completely change your perspective. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating journey through history with some of the earliest photos ever taken in America. Let's explore the past together and uncover the stories behind these extraordinary photographs. This photograph of Robert Cornelius, a trailblazer in American photography and an amateur chemist, could be the world's first selfie. Cornelius took this self-portrait behind his family's silver plating shop in Philadelphia. To capture the image, he removed the camera's lens cap, quickly positioned himself in the frame, and stayed still for a minute before replacing the cap. On the back of the photo, he inscribed, "The first light picture ever taken, 1839. The gold rush transformed the United States in the 19th century, as migrants moved westward in search of precious metals and to work in the rapidly expanding mines across the region. This image shows miners in California's Auburn Ravine area during the 1850s. This is one of the oldest surviving examples of aerial photography and likely the earliest such photo ever taken in America. Captured from a hot air balloon by Boston-based photographer James Wallace Black, the image features landmarks familiar to many residents today. This photograph, taken by George N. Barnard, the official photographer of the Chief Engineer's Office during the Union occupation of Georgia in the American Civil War, captures a poignant scene. An African-American Union soldier, rifle by his side, stands guard at a former slave auction house on Whitehall Street in Atlanta. The building once hosted prospective buyers who bid for enslaved people, who were forced to stand on a platform to be judged and inspected before the auction began. Another haunting photograph from the Civil War shows the Ponder House in Georgia's capital shortly after the Battle of Atlanta on July 22, 1864. The house, occupied by Confederate troops, was shelled by Union forces. In this 1860s image, the facade is visibly riddled with bullet holes and completely destroyed in one section. The 1860s were a turbulent period, and while numerous paintings depict the devastation of the Civil War, 1861 to 1865, photographs capture its impact even more viscerally. Charleston played a crucial role in the conflict as Union and Confederate forces battled for control. Union troops eventually blitzed the southern city, and a fire tore through it in 1861. This photo from the early 1860s shows two men standing amid the wreckage. This early photograph captures a common sight in America during the 1860s. A Union field hospital set up in a rural area of Michigan. Nurses from the Michigan Soldiers Relief Society are seen gathered around the troops, providing care and support. After the war, many veterans flocked to New York City in search of work. However, a recession in 1866 made finding employment challenging. This photo from the 1860s depicts a very different Wall Street than the one we know today. Horse-drawn carts replaced tourists and taxis, and towering skyscrapers like 40 Wall Street had yet to be constructed. New York isn't the only city that's nearly unrecognizable in 19th century photos. Nashville, now known for its neon lights, lively honky-tonks, and towering skyscrapers like the Batman Building, officially the AT&T Building, looked vastly different in the 1860s. This view from the capital reveals low-rise homes scattered among trees and surrounded by wilderness. Established in October 1890, Yosemite National Park was the third national park to be designated. However, this photo from the 1860s predates its establishment. The image captures the breathtaking Yosemite Valley, which was carved out by natural forces over millennia and remains largely unchanged today. Montana, known as Big Sky Country, offers a glimpse into the old Wild West. Helena, which became the capital of the Montana Territory in 1875, blossomed during the gold rush of the 1860s. This photograph captures Helena as a 19th century boomtown, bustling with horse-drawn carts and lined with saloons. Today, Yellowstone National Park is a recreational hotspot, attracting travelers from far and wide for activities like hiking, biking, and boating on Yellowstone Lake. However, in the park's early days, people were just beginning to discover Yellowstone's potential for adventure. The Annie, pictured here in 1871, is said to be one of the first boats ever launched on Yellowstone Lake. From one of America's revered natural wonders to one of its most iconic landmarks, the Capitol building has undergone numerous changes since its cornerstone was laid in 1793. Despite these alterations, it remains instantly recognizable in this photo from the 1870s. Captured after the construction of the capital's distinctive cast-iron dome in the 1850s-1860s, the image features a group of men posing before the monumental structure. America's railroads were constructed at a rapid pace during the 19th century, playing a crucial role in regions like the Pacific Northwest with its booming logging industry. This photo captures a group of construction workers laboring on a railroad as it crosses the Green River, on the west slope of the Cascades in Washington state. The image highlights the industrious efforts that helped shape the nation's infrastructure. This foreboding image was taken about 22 miles, 35 kilometers, southwest of Howard in South Dakota on August 28, 1884. Though tornadoes are most common in the Central Plains and southeastern regions of the U.S., they have been recorded in all 50 states and are responsible for the deaths of around 60 people each year. This 1885 photo captures the giant toes and torch of the Statue of Liberty as she awaits assembly on her pedestal on Bedloe's Island. The iconic statue would finally be completed in April 1886. Ice skating in Central Park has long been one of the great joys of winter in the Big Apple, a tradition that dates back to the 19th century. Captured during that era, the Dakota Apartments, later made famous by the tragic assassination of John Lennon in 1980, can be seen rising above the frozen lake near West 72nd Street. It's a timeless image that encapsulates the magic of winter in New York City. Today, the French Market stands as a beloved tourist attraction in the Big Easy, attracting crowds eager to indulge in café au lait and beignets at Café du Monde. However, the market's history stretches back to 1791, as depicted in this 1890 photograph. One can't help but notice the rugged cobbled streets, hinting at the rich heritage and timeless charm of New Orleans' French Quarter. This shot captures a horse-pulled California mail cart back in 1895, a stark contrast to the hulking white vans that dominate the city's roads today. The cobbled street and vintage signs exude nostalgia, transporting us back to a bygone era when mail delivery was a more leisurely affair. Henry Flagler is celebrated for his pivotal role in the development of the Florida East Coast Railway. This photograph from 1896 captures the railroad after its extension into Miami. The arrival of the train service marked a transformative moment for Miami, propelling it from a laid-back town to a bustling city. In fact, Miami was officially incorporated in the same year, reflecting the profound impact of Flagler's railroad on the city's growth and development. This captivating photo takes us backstage at Chicago's Field Museum, originally established in 1894 as the Field Columbian Museum. It offers a glimpse into the museum's inner workings, showcasing paleontologists in the lab as they study a rhinoceros skull and other specimens in 1899. It's a fascinating snapshot of scientific exploration and discovery in the late 19th century. This image captures the vibrant atmosphere of Coney Island at the turn of the century. Sunseekers bask on the sandy beach and frolic in the waters of Lower Bay, while the striking tower of Dreamland Theme Park looms in the background. It's a nostalgic glimpse into the heyday of one of America's most iconic amusement destinations. This striking image from the early 1900s showcases the beauty of America's Great Plains, with a trio of indigenous Sioux people riding on horseback through the rural Midwest. This image offers a glimpse of Fremont Street in Las Vegas during its infancy in 1905. In stark contrast to the bustling, neon-drenched Las Vegas Strip we know today, Fremont Street features old Western-style building fronts and no-frills venues such as a bakery, a grocery shop, and a furniture store. It's a testament to the humble beginnings of what would later become one of the world's most famous entertainment destinations. 17th of September 1908 made headlines around the world as the day of the very first passenger plane crash death. During a trial to win a contract with the U.S. Army, pilot Orville Wright and his passenger Lieutenant Thomas Selfridge took off in a Wright Flyer, the first type of powered plane, from Fort Myer in Virginia. Unfortunately, the aircraft, pictured, malfunctioned and pitched nose first into the ground, injuring both men. Wright recovered, but Selfridge died in hospital a few hours later.